What's going on, guys? I'm your host from the East Coast, Jinder94, here to give you guys my WWE Smackdown Live review for January 3rd, 2017. I almost said 16. I'm still getting used to the new year. Hope you guys are having a wonderful new year. Hoping you're starting your year out right. Let's get right into the review. We had another pretty solid episode of Smackdown Live. I liked a ton of things they did during this episode, and just building towards the Royal Rumble and possibly building towards WrestleMania. So let's get right into it. So SmackDown Live kicked off with The Miz, and he says he has one New Year's resolution, and that's to be more forgiving. And someone owes him an apology, and she knows exactly who she is. He's talking about Renee Young, of course. She slapped him after he told her a few weeks ago that she was the one obsessed with Dean Ambrose because she's sleeping with him. She slapped him in his face, and now Miz says she owes him an apology. Miz says she sacrificed her career for dirty deeds with Dean Ambrose. So it's pretty much just talking smack. Ha, get it? Talking smack. No pun intended. But just talking mess about her, just saying she threw her career away, and I don't know why she's messing around with Dean Ambrose, and she should have been more professional, and all this other stuff. And of course that triggered Dean Ambrose to come out, and he came out, was about to go right after The Miz, but of course Maurice got into his face and slapped him right in the face, and then she got out of the ring, and they walked away. And then Miz was like, Dean Ambrose was just like, well, bad part of my night is already over. She hits harder than you do. That was pretty funny. But yeah, so they would main event for the Intercontinental Championship in the later parts of the review. We'll talk about that. We'll get to it in a minute. But the first match we had was Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Baron was pretty much picking up where he left off last week. He had complete control of that triple threat match for the WWE Championship, and now because he didn't come away victorious, he's taking it out on Dolph Ziggler, who was in the triple threat match as well. Ziggler was getting absolutely rocked during this match. It didn't matter what he did. Corbin had powerful reversals for him. He was, hitting him with very powerful strikes. It just didn't matter. Corbin, just like the triple threat last week, was in control of the match this week. It was great to see Corbin doing good work once again. And if we're building new stars, make him look strong. And that's exactly what Ziggler was doing. He was selling excellently for Corbin. Pretty much making him look good. Ziggler, who could not get any offense in during this match, finally was able to pull off a famouser, but he only got a 2 count. And then he was able to pull off a zigzag, but that still wasn't enough to put Corbin away. And I appreciated how commentary put over the fact that was Ziggler's best shot, and he couldn't get the pinfall over Corbin, so now what is he supposed to do? He hit him with his best shot, and it didn't work. And then after that, Corbin caught him with the end of days, and was able to pick up the victory. And then after the match, Corbin went to grab a steel chair to do more damage to him, and that's when Kalisto came back out to, I guess, restart their rivalry a little bit. But the rivalry kind of switched over a little bit. Kalisto knocked the chair out of Corbin's hands, who was about to use it on Ziggler. And, Corbin ran after him. He pulled the rope so that Corbin fell out of the ring. And as he's, trying to protect Ziggler, Ziggler gets up and he just completely snaps and turns heel. I'm like, yes, Ziggler is heel again. It's about time. He needed it. He needed the heel turn. He hit Kalisto with the super kick and then just started yelling at him like, I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I've never needed anybody. All I needed was me. And the crowd went crazy because, they've been wanting him to turn heel for the longest as well. And it's a great thing. Dolph does some of his best work, not only his face, but more so his heel. Some of his best runs in WWE have been when he's been a heel. And it's just great to see him turn heel once again and get back on track to where he was. So after that, we get James Ellsworth and Carmella. Ellsworth's pretty much just stumbling over his words, trying to talk to Carmella and just saying how much he appreciated what she was doing or whatever. He was saying his sentences backwards, and it was just all over the place. And then Carmella was just like, because he gave her his t-shirt or whatever off of his back. And she was like, you should accompany me to the ring. You should be there ringside when I have my match. He was just like, really? Me accompany you? Ring me to you? Yes? And then, they just walked away. Then after that, we get Dolph Ziggler, who, goes to the locker room, still pissed off that he lost to Corbin and lost his chance at the WWE Championship, and he won't get any Intercontinental Championship matches in the near future. So he's pissed off. He gets in the locker room, starts throwing everybody's shit everywhere, just didn't give not one fuck. You had Rhino, Apollo Crews, and what's his name, Mojo Rawley, just like looking at him like, dude, what's your problem? And then, Apollo asked him why he did that to Kalisto. And Dolph was just like, don't worry about it, Mark. It's none of your business. And Apollo was like, well, Kalisto is one of my friends, so it's actually some of my business. So I'm putting myself in this and getting involved. And then Dolph just looked at him, laughed, and then headbutt him. And they just started going at it. Rhino and Mojo Rawley had to pull them apart. And I guess that's, going to be Ziggler's next little rivalry. So finally they're doing something with Apollo Crews, and him working with heel Ziggler is going to be great. Hopefully they can elevate him a little bit more, make him feel more important on SmackDown, give him a meaningful rivalry with somebody as legitimate as Dolph Ziggler. So that'll be fine. Dolph Ziggler selling the fact of how pissed he was, and, then he turned heel, and now he's just all over the place. But I'm just so happy heel Ziggler is back. We're going to get some more great work from him. Just stay tuned for that. The next match we got Becky Lynch versus La Luchadora. I'm guessing the one that screwed her over in her championship match last week. So, Becky, of course, trying to get her revenge. And, she was just pretty much killing her or whatever. And then La Luchadora got away, went up under the ring, and out from the other side came somebody else dressed as La Luchadora. But it was obviously not the same woman who had been in the match previously, because she started to get some offense in and went for the Sparkle Splash. And we all know whose move that is. Yep, Alexa Bliss. I immediately knew it was her after that. Even when she came up from the ring, I knew it wasn't the same person. But she missed the Sparkle Splash, and Becky got her into Disarmer. She tapped out. Then after the match, Becky went to her, took the mask off, revealed it was actually Alexa Bliss. And then the other La Luchadora that had went under the ring previously came back up under, and got into the ring, and they both proceeded to double team Becky Lynch. So Alexa was pretty much just laughing at the fact that she got the upper hand on her, even though she lost the match. And so I guess we're going to continue that, but I'm guessing they're just doing the whole placeholder gimmick. People were telling me about that on Twitter, because I thought, the mask La Luchadora, whatever they're calling her, was Deonna Purrazzo, but I don't think she's going to be incorporated in the rivalry. She's just, like people on Twitter told me, a placeholder. So who knows? Maybe somebody's going to, come up from NXT, or somebody's going to come over or get signed or something like that, and they're just going to bring somebody to SmackDown to feud with Becky Lynch. But I'm pretty sure in the near future, Alexa Bliss is going to move on to her next challenger for her title. Hopefully Naomi. I would love to see Naomi go after Alexa Bliss. Naomi still has not gotten her women's championship match that she so desperately deserves. She's been working her ass off in that division just to get shunned every single time, just to get overshadowed. Hopefully when she comes back from injury, she's one of the first people to get a shot at the new women's champion, Alexa Bliss. Even if she doesn't win, just give her a shot. I feel like she deserves at least that. After that, we got, I love this segment, the Royal Rumble contract signing with John Cena and AJ Styles. So we had John Cena come out, and AJ came out. We had Daniel Bryan already out there, and he was just being the moderator for this whole thing. And AJ immediately, started off asking Daniel, why did you give Cena this championship match? Like, he's not like us. He doesn't come from the same places. We've wrestled in high school gyms and all this stuff. We actually have a love for this. He doesn't love this like we do. He's not the same as we are. So why does he get a title match after coming back for 4 months of being gone? And Daniel was like, I completely understand your point, but we need to keep this ratings momentum going because we beat Raw in the ratings for the first time, and I had to give everyone the biggest match possible going into the Royal Rumble so he can continue to beat Raw in the ratings. Everybody wants this match, and they'll get it. And you shouldn't even be worried because you've beat Cena 3 times already. And then AJ was like, all right, well, you know what? I guess so. And then Daniel Bryan got the hell out of that ring. He was just like, good luck, guys, and left. Didn't care if they signed a contract or whatever. Daniel Bryan got the hell out of that ring because he already knew what was up. He already knew what was going to go on. He didn't want no parts of that at all. He got about that ring. And that's when we got AJ just completely going for the jugular against Cena. He tells Cena he's the luckiest guy in the world, and because you just got a title shot from somebody that's pretty much your brother-in-law. I'm just like, okay, all right, I like where this is headed. He said, but Daniel is right. He has to do what's best for SmackDown, and it's actually what's best for AJ Styles. And how the tables have turned. Because last year, Cena told AJ that he had to prove that he belonged in the WWE, and that if he didn't beat him for the title, he's just going to be some indie guy. And now, the tides have turned, and now he's telling Cena that he needs to win to prove he still belongs in the WWE. They really couldn't see him because he left. The whole "you can't see me." They really couldn't see him because he actually left. And they beat Raw in the ratings, not because of John Cena, but because AJ Styles was champion. And spoiler alert, they can still do it without him. They don't need him. And Cena goes to tell him, hey, AJ, I have a lot of respect for you. AJ cut him off immediately. He was like, no, don't even start with this crap. You're just covering your tracks. You talk crap about The Rock on Talking Smack last week, saying, everything you said about him was wrong and you were apologizing. We don't want to hear that. What you said about The Rock was true. He's phony, and, he left the WWE high and dry, and, went to do the movies and stuff. You were right for saying that. You were right to say that. He abandoned the company. And now the same thing can be said about you. And, he gives Cena some credit. He said, you have been great for the WWE. You have been great for the company. You have been a great champion. But the two key words there, has been. Has been. You're a has-been now. He called him a has-been. And he's like, what's pathetic about you is that in Hollywood, you'll never be as good as The Rock. And when it comes to the ring, you'll never be as good as AJ Styles. And I'm just like, damn. So at this point, Cena hadn't said anything but, AJ, I have respect for you. And once AJ cut him off, he just put the mic right back down. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is about to get hectic. He dropped one hell of a promo. Oh my goodness, Cena just had to sit there and take it. And then it was Cena's turn. Cena picked up the mic. He was like, the big part about being a man is knowing when you're wrong. Another part is that when someone pushes you over the line, you push back. And then, he got up, moved his little chair out of the way and says, you just pissed off John Cena. Congratulations. And I'm just like, uh-oh, Cena's about to drop another promo on this guy. Oh my goodness. He was like, yeah, I do need to win to prove I belong in the WWE because guys like you think I'm already gone from the company. And then he proceeds to say he lost all respect for him and all he thinks about him is that he's just a little bitch. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Here we go. And then he also says, everyone is talking about this match because, everybody that's ever despised him thinks that AJ is going to be the guy to replace him. But deep down in their mind, they know that Cena's made a career out of shutting people's mouths when they yap really loud and making them eat their words. So congratulations, you finally bowled up to John Cena. He's about to make him look dumber than he already looks. And he says, people think that he lost his passion when he came back from an injury 6 months earlier than he was supposed to. That's passion. AJ goes to where, the WWE tells him to go, and Cena goes so hard that they have to tell him to stop. That's passion. AJ walks down the ramp because he has to, and Cena does it because he wants to. That's passion. And anybody in his shoes that had the opportunity to go to Hollywood and actually make movies would have already left. But he's still here, and that's passion. And I'm just like, oh my God, these two actually are going at it once again. And I loved what both people said. I love what both of them said to each other. And then Cena started pacing back and forth and said, everyone needed this match, not just those guys, but, the crowd needed it. The fans at home watching, they needed it because, it's no different than any person who said Cena sucks or, just booing for him. He's knocked them all off. They chant Cena sucks, but they realize that on their best day, they can never be him. So at the Rumble, bring your family, bring your friends, bring the noise, and bring your A game. But he's still going to kick his ass anyway because he's John Cena. So recognize. And I love that line. Because I'm John Cena, so recognize. That's it. That's the line. That's the line. And it was just so great how both of them got their chance to speak. They didn't interrupt each other. They got the chance to speak, get everything off their chest, and they both looked good. But it wasn't over there. It definitely wasn't over. After that, Cena signed the contract and whatever. And then Baron Corbin comes out. And I'm like, what a twist. Wasn't expecting that. Baron Corbin makes his way to the ring. He comes down saying on his first night, he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So he's making it known that he's the first SmackDown superstar not only entering the Royal Rumble, but he's going to win the whole thing. And it doesn't matter if Cena's champion by WrestleMania or if AJ's the champion by WrestleMania. But at the end of WrestleMania, he's leaving the WWE champion. And I'm like, yes! Okay, Corbin mixing it up a little bit. He's throwing his name in the hat for them to worry about. So, as soon as he gets in the ring, Cena was like, I'm going to pick a fight with you because I know AJ won't fight me. So I'm going to pick a fight with the biggest guy, the biggest, baddest guy on the roster right now. And that's you. And then Corbin snapped and was like, if you ever talk to me like that again, I'm going to knock your damn teeth down your throat. I'm like, oh my God, let's go. They're building up Corbin to stand up to guys like John Cena. He don't give not one single damn who John Cena is. He just told this man he would knock his damn teeth down his throat. And Cena was like, hey, we ain't got to talk no more. We can just throw these hands. And then AJ hit him with a kick to the back of the head and, completely knocked Cena down. And then AJ just walked out of the ring after that. It's like, you ain't gonna forget about me making your champion still feel important even when somebody comes out. Take notes, Monday Night Raw. That's how you do it. That's exact same thing I said they should have did with Owens last night. Make you realize that he's still there. Like, for a second, you would have thought, oh, man, looks like AJ's getting overshadowed by Corbin and Cena now. But AJ made his dominance and his presence felt, kicked Cena in the back of the head, and got up out of there. Like, yep, I'm still the champion. What you gonna do about it? So that was great. I love how they incorporated Baron Corbin. And even Corbin said, while Cena was down, maybe AJ is right. Your time is up. And they're going to have a match next week. And that's a new matchup. Haven't seen that match before. And I'm very excited to see what Corbin is going to do against John Cena. Very, very excited to see that match. I can't wait. And, the fact that they're making Corbin feel important. They're not making AJ feel less of a champion. And then you got, the staple of the company, John Cena, who's being challenged by this new era that he said he didn't care for. They're progressing storylines, making it feel important, and Cena's not burying people. What can you complain about here? What can you really complain about? Now, Cena's probably going to win the match next week, but that's only, to build hype towards the Royal Rumble because he's going for the title. So, as long as Corbin looks strong in that match, it won't really matter. Because he's been, doing pretty good in his matches and making himself look good. So, we'll see what happens in that match next week. After that, we had Maurice walking, by herself backstage. She was just walking around. And then she pulls up on Renee Young. Yeah, she pulled up on her, tapped her on the shoulder, and was like, on behalf of my husband, whoop! Smacked her right in the face. You could hear it from a mile away. She smacked her right in the face and was like, don't you ever put your hands on my husband again. You got it? And Renee Young just slumped up. She was leaning against whatever she was standing near. And, Maurice put them hands to her one time. That was crazy. I have a feeling that's not going to end anytime soon, based off of what happened in the main event. But like I said, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. Next, we had Carmella, who was accompanied by James Ellsworth, versus Aliyah from NXT. And if you haven't seen, WWE Breaking Ground on the network, I remember Aliyah. I remember when she was first getting started in NXT, she couldn't even do her damn entrance right. And now she looks even better. She has a nice look. She has a pretty good moveset considering, she was, just doing the job for Carmella. But she was actually working pretty good in this match. And she had a pretty good showing. She sold good for Carmella, though, who eventually won the match with the, the Code of Silence after James Ellsworth interfered, because Aliyah, like I said, was looking good in the match and looked like she could actually beat Carmella. Ellsworth pretty much, grabbed her leg from off the top rope, and once she got distracted, she got put into the Code of Silence, which is a very nasty finisher, and I love it. The the way she's able to become flexible and just like, it's like she wraps her legs around your head and then she pulls her foot backwards towards the rest of her body, and it just looks nasty. It's not something I've seen before. If somebody may have done it before, I'm not saying she invented it, but I haven't seen it before. And if I have, I can't remember who could have possibly did it. So I don't know what they're doing with James Ellsworth though. He's kind of directionless at this point. They're just throwing him with Carmella for the hell of it. But yeah, that's what happened. Carmella was able to pick up the victory. We had American Alpha versus Breezango. They went 20 seconds. You know what happened. You know what happened. Come on. Do we really got to talk about it? Like, they literally just buried Breezango even more than they already are. It was just like they got in the ring. They tried to give this man an ugly ticket or whatever, or citation, because they're the fashion police. Chad Gable ripped it up. I think he just like kicked who was it? I think it was Fandango. He just like kicked him, knocked him down, tagged in Jason Jordan, who who knocked Tyler Breeze, out of the way, and then they just hit Grand Amplitude, and that was it. I don't even think he took off his shirt until the match was over. It was that type of match. But after the match, the most important thing is that the Wyatts popped up on the screen. And then Bray Wyatt said, nothing lasts forever. Cherish your win, but you really haven't won anything. And reality will hit you sooner or later. And you haven't stolen the light that shines on the family. You've made it stronger. And next week, they're coming to reclaim their titles. And I think next week is going to be when Randy Orton turns on them. And because I don't see the American Alpha dropping the titles to the Wyatt family next week. It would make absolutely no sense to take the titles off of them, and we're still building, the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper feud that they've been building for a while now. And I think next week is the week that Randy Orton finally snaps and just completely turns on them. So we'll see what happens, but we get a tag team championship rematch next week. Now, before the main event, we got Nikki Bella addressing Natalya. Nikki says she knows Natalya despises her. She wishes she could feel the same way about her, but she can't. She actually feels bad. She actually feels bad for her. It's not about, her looks or who she's dating. It's, that her and Brie worked hard to make their name worth something. And Natty's working off of her family's legacy. Natty says she got nothing from her family, and then Nikki Bella proceeds to tell her that's bullshit, and tell her why that's bullshit. Nikki Bella says, when your music hits, who do we think of? We don't think of you, we think of Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation. And then your finishing move. When you slap in that sharpshooter, we're not cheering for you slapping in the sharpshooter. We're cheering because Bret Hart did that move and made it popular. And she called her the weak link of the Hart family. And then, Natalya showed a tweet that Bret took with Nikki Bella, saying Nikki Bella's always been one of his favorites or whatever. And Natalya was like, I don't know what you did to my Uncle Bret to make him take that picture with you, but it was probably something sexual. She pretty much just said Nikki Bella slutted her body out so that Bret Hart would take a picture with her. That's savage. That is savage. And nobody is more determined than she is. And Nikki Bella used her sex appeal to get what she wants. She said that beauty fades, and when it does, John will leave her, and when he does, she'll die alone. I'm just like, ooh, that's kind of heartless right there. That's getting close to the I wish you died in the womb type of savagery. And then Nikki Bella hit her with her forearm and got her up out of there. And that was pretty much all for that. She hit her with a forearm and was gone. Dean pretty much yelled at the reporter who was trying to interview him before his match. Says he's going to take away the most important thing The Miz has, and it's not his wife. So we had Dean Ambrose versus The Miz in the main event for the Intercontinental Championship. And Dean Ambrose was very, 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 very focused going into this match because Maurice slapped his girl. Miz has been talking about their relationship that they've kept private for the longest, and Dean was pissed about it. He wasn't too happy. So you already knew that even from the beginning of SmackDown, Dean was pissed, and the match just showed that he was still feeling some type of way. Immediately went after The Miz, was tossing him all over the place until Maurice provided a distraction for The Miz to gain the upper hand, allowing him to take over and do what he does best. He was getting some good heat on Dean. And, Maurice was just doing her same interference gimmick. Dean, was trying to make his comeback. Maurice distracted him again. Miz hit the skull crushing finale, only got a 2 count. Dean came back. Then he hit the tope suicida that Mauro Ranallo just loves to call, and I enjoy it every single time he does. Uh, we had then we had Maurice trying to get the Miz disqualified by slapping Dean in the face, and the ref went to go, disqualify her in the match. And the Miz would have retained by disqualification, but Dean got in the ring and pleaded with him to not end the match, but to just kick her out of the area, kick her out of the arena, just get the hell up out of here, so me and him can have a one-on-one match. So the ref, decided to go with that plan, maybe because it was a championship match. He was just like, all right, whatever, you're gone. Dean helped him throw her out. They both did the "you're gone." Maurice got up out of there. And as the ref was making sure she was leaving, Miz smacked Dean with the Intercontinental title. Went to go pin him. When the ref turned around, he only got a 2 count. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought it was over after that. So then, after he got back up, Dean hit the Dirty Deeds and picked up the victory. And now we have a new Intercontinental Champion. I'm like, whoa, didn't expect him to take the title off the Miz, but all the things that Miz has been doing over the past couple of weeks came back to bite him in the ass. You don't mess with a man's girl. You don't do that. Especially if their relationship is private. You don't bring that up. You don't put them out there like that. And now you lost the Intercontinental Championship. So it kind of made sense that Dean was able to take that away from Miz, as Miz has been getting the upper hand on them for the past couple of weeks. And like I said, putting their business out there for everybody to know. Because some people actually didn't know that Renee Young and Dean were actually dating in real life. So, that was a big thing for them to put out there. So, Dean got some comeuppance and was able to take the title up off the Miz. Maurice tried to get him disqualified, but it didn't work. And we have a new Intercontinental Champion. I'm sure they'll have their rematch at the Royal Rumble. But for now, Dean is now a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. And eventually Miz is going to get the title back, I'm sure. And become a 7-time IC Champion. So, we'll see. It makes sense to me. It actually made sense. I'm happy for Dean. I'm sure they weren't going to put the WWE Championship on him anytime soon. Kind of weird that he won it this year and then just went back to getting the IC Championship. But, hopefully he can continue to elevate the belt, continue to make it look good. And we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know if Miz is going to demand his rematch next week or at the Rumble, but I'm sure they'll be fighting at the Rumble. But yeah, that was SmackDown. I pretty much enjoyed the whole show. Nothing really to complain about. I'm loving the building of Corbin, and we'll see if that continues next week when he faces off against Cena, because I'm sure he'll bring the fight to him as well, because Corbin don't give a damn. And we'll see where this Dean Ambrose and Miz thing goes, because I'm sure Renee Young will get in some type of involvement, and I don't know if she's going to have a match. I doubt it, because I don't think she's trained yet. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Maybe she'll have a slapping match with Maurice or something. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys thought of SmackDown down in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you think it was better than Raw? Of course it was better than Raw. I hope the ratings reflect that as well. Because SmackDown is just a great show. It's enjoyable to watch. The storylines are making sense. They're building people correctly. Well, some people. Some people aren't getting built correctly, but that's because they already were destroyed coming into SmackDown. But slap a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you to everybody who has been subscribing over the past few weeks. And, ever since I started the channel, it really means a lot. We're all the way over 100 subscribers now. So once again, I want to thank you guys for subscribing, for watching and liking my videos. And thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later on this week. I got a few videos in mind that I want to put out on the YouTubes for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace.